Hi, I'm Athena and I got a 35 on the ACT, so I'm going to be sharing what I think is the best way to study and some individual tips for each section. I took the ACT once at the end of my junior year. I got a 35 on all subsections and a 10 on the essay. I started studying when March 2020 came and COVID hit and I had nothing to do with my time. I just took a practice test and then graded it. 3 ACTs a week kind of for 2 weeks, and then I kind of got bored. I did that sparingly until the summer, and then 11th grade started and I stopped studying. Then I was scared of COVID. I didn't have plans to take the ACT because I didn't want to go to a testing center. So then I finally decided to take it. I signed up in May, I think, for the June one. After school ended, I had 2 weeks until I was going to take it. Then I went ham there and I took a practice test every day and I graded it and reviewed my mistakes and stuff. I also tracked my progress in a spreadsheet, which is kind of extra, but it really helped me see what was working and what wasn't, especially within each section. And I also tracked which test I took so I didn't repeat tests. My overall strategy is to take a practice test and then review it really thoroughly and just repeat until you're getting 35, 36 scores. At the end, the days leading up to my actual ACT, I was getting 35, 36s. So that's when I felt comfortable enough to take it because I really wanted 36, but I just fell a little short, but it's fine. So where you can find practice tests, Prep Scholar has a blog and I'll link it in the bio. They have 5 tests. And then I also bought the official ACT book and that one also has 5 tests. And then there's a Reddit link where it has so many tests dating back to before 2000, and those are all official. So you really need to take the official ACT ones. Don't bother your time on the non-official ones because the best way to study is just to take it. I counted and I ended up taking 23 practice tests total, which is kind of a lot, but I think it was really helpful. I also got the ACT 36 book because I wanted a 36. Basically tried to go through it and highlight things I didn't already know. And it was kind of helpful to identify what I didn't know, but also I was so not good at teaching myself stuff. Learning the concepts is where it's at. I also got this Erna Metzer's reading thing because I was struggling on reading, and in my opinion it didn't help that much, mostly because I was too lazy to actually read the book. It was so thick and there were so many strategies. I just wasn't really down, so that was kind of a waste. But if you are down to read the whole thing, it would probably help. The next step is to review them. So you have to make sure every time you review it, if you took that same practice test again, you would get everything right. That's the amount of depth you have to review it. And I know it's really annoying, and I low-key didn't do that because I was too lazy. You have to make sure you understand all your mistakes to the core. That is where I'm gonna get into the individual sections. For English, all you have to do is learn the grammar rules and know some vocabulary sometimes. Some of the grammar rules I can think of off the top of my head are being redundant. So it was a very short and brief conversation. You just wouldn't do the and brief. Or a clause within a clause. The snake, M dash, almost 10 feet long, M dash, climbed into the mailbox. So sometimes you'll have a semicolon or a comma or something like that. And you just have to make sure the in-between clause is formatted in the regular clause correctly. Definitely find the full list on the Perfect Score Tutors blog. Link in the eye. Did I do that right? If you know the grammar rules, you're pretty much gonna be fine. Math, you have to learn all the concepts. So if you don't learn the concepts, you're not gonna know how to do it. And the hardest part for me was actually learning the concepts, probability, when I didn't learn it before in school. I'm not the type of person who's good at self-studying. So every time I try to learn on Khan Academy, I would just fail. I would learn it, but then forget how to do it or something, which shows how I really didn't learn it. If you're not a self-learner, the best way to learn it is to learn from someone else, a teacher or a friend or a tutor. And a quick plug, if you want a good tutor, go to perfectscoretutors.org. They have tutors that scored perfect on all their tests, so they really know how to do it. Also, math goes in increasing difficulty, so make sure you allocate your time. I'd usually do the first 30 questions in under 20 minutes, and then the last 10 questions would take up more than 10 minutes. Next, reading. I remember reading was kind of always my weakness because it's super time crunched and then you have to read everything and remember all the little details. Basically, you just have to find the strategy that makes you read the fastest and answer the questions also. So sometimes just reading through the whole thing word for word and then answering, or annotating and stuff like that. But overall, with practice, you'll get better at it. And then finally, science. It's a lot of like interpretation and graphs, and it's also really time crunch. There's one passage that's like 3 to 4 perspectives, and if you don't know what science like concept they're talking about, it takes like a lot of brain power and reading comprehension. So that's why some science knowledge is definitely like recommended. And for math and science, that's where taking it at the end of my junior year really helped, because I had like knowledge of a bunch more topics. Yeah, but those are just a few of my tips for individual sections. There's a full comprehensive view at the blog for Perfect Score Tutors. Finally, the essay. I was like kind of scared for the essay because I had no idea what to do, but I just did a few practice essays in the time limit, and the best thing to do, I think, is to have a clear-cut like organization with clear thesis and clear topic sentences, and then obviously just like write a lot. One thing to note is that I am more of like a consistent person who likes to get things ready before. So like some people take practice tests and then like the day of the test they'll like do really well because they actually have their concentration. Everyone's different, and obviously like that means that everyone will take different amounts of time to get ready. But for me, what really helps was like having a set amount of time to like put your all into studying, because like during school and during APs I would not have time. I would usually do full ACTs in one sitting, so it would take literally 3 hours, and then grading it, I would just get super stressed every time I graded it, which is like, I just took it very seriously. So that really helped me so that it could simulate the real test. That basically sums it up. My 3 main takeaway points are: do practice tests, know all the concepts, whether that means like learning them in school, like taking it a little later, like junior year, after junior year, getting a tutor, or like watching Khan Academy videos, and simulating the real thing. So that is it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I hope this video was helpful. Happy studying!